Do something even if it's wrong. Welcome to pilot number one for the ScottyDontX show. It'll be a podcast. It'll be an Epicurean event without food or drink. And hopefully it will be audio without me doing text to speech faux pas, comma, like that one right there. Exclamation point. Well, I've got this Aver Media microphone and a live streamer console. So that gives me somewhere to plug the XLR mic into and a laptop. So quick Google brings up Buzzsprout, how to start a podcast, complete step-by-step guide 2024 version. Okay, this should go well. 10 steps. Develop a podcast concept, choose your podcast format, set up podcast equipment, choose your podcast software, record your first episode, edit your audio, create podcast artwork, set up podcast hosting, get listed in podcast directories, launch and grow your show. There's only 10 steps. It can't be that hard, right? Develop a podcast concept. Define your goals. Why do you want to start a podcast? It's important to know why, or even if it's just to have fun with friends. What if you're starting a podcast just to make friends? Is that legitimate? It will be today. Scotty, don't. What's the X stand for? Well, what does any X stand for? We are solving for X every day. Podcast theme or topic and make it specific. So if you're going to do mental health for lawyers. If you're going to do drones, do something like drone racing or non-racing drones. And if you're going to do business, how to start a nonprofit. Well, I don't know how to start them, but boy, oh boy, do I keep getting roped into leadership positions for them. Choose your podcast format, interview, co-hosted, scripted nonfiction, scripted fiction, news recap, educational podcasts. Well, what if I'm going to do an co-hosted interview news podcast that's educational and fiction as well as nonfiction? Can we put it all together? Nobody says we can't. Optimal podcast length. It says less than 10 minutes gets you 14%, 10 to 20 gets you 15%, 20 to 40 gets you 31%. So after 40 minutes, it diminishes to 22%, and over 60 minutes gets you 7%. So, less than 10 minutes gets you 14. Let's get all that extra time back in your day. Publishing schedule. Since this is pilot number one, we don't have a schedule to publish anything else. Best microphones. Well, too late. This is one I got. XLR USB. I did get XLR due to my history in television because, well, XLRs are cool. They make a neat whipping sound. Choose podcast software. Yeah, it's talking about this is $15 a month, $12 a month, free to 18 a month. So that one's called Zoom. That seems to have been really popular during the pandemic. And it does have features for improving audio recording by removing some compression. Cool. Editing software, Audacity, which is what I know how to use. So we'll keep that, skip all the other stuff, and record your first episode. Oh, hey, we're already into this one. Yes, I likey. Write a podcast outline. Nope, didn't do that. Pick a good place to record. If possible, record in a quiet room with lots of furniture, curtains, rugs, or carpet. Well, I have carpet, that's for sure. And I have a dog. It's kind of like a moving rug. We haven't heard from him. And it's a really tiny condo, so there's not too many hard places for noise to bounce off from. Wait, if it says record your first and then pick a good place, then set up equipment, how am I supposed to have already been recording? Silly. Oh, then edit your audio? Wait, I'm supposed to edit this? Okay, maybe like uh fade in, fade out, but I mean otherwise I'm just gonna be editing it to make myself look non-authentic. Or will I be editing to make it more presentable? Come to think of it, most of the podcasting I listen to, I have it set to drop silences. So if I cut out the silences, then people's podcast software won't have to work so hard playing it back. Ooh, engaging intro and outro. So royalty-free music for no cost. Hey, that's pretty good. As a matter of fact, I think once upon a time I bought a CD from Music Bakery in June of 1993 that had some great themes on it, which I had used for my radio show on 1550 K-band or the subsequent open air talk radio on public access shows that I did. Create a punch list. Ooh, who do we want to punch? If you don't want to listen to an entire episode multiple times, create a list of audio distractions to check during your second pass. Okay, so you make a little list of like when somebody drops dinner in the background or somebody's finished their plate and knocks it around. Would that be a punch list? Things to punch out? Export audio file. Export it as a WAV file. Who's editing in anything but WAV file? Seriously. Quality people. Create podcast artwork. Your podcast cover art's the first thing potential listeners see on Apple Podcasts or social media. Good artwork implies quality content, and 62% of listeners are more likely to listen to the podcast if they like the cover art. Seriously? So, if you are doing your color art in Crayola crayons that are broken on a piece of recycled paper, and that's recycled as having been used by some like grease stains or something, people are going to skip out on the mental floss that you're spewing. Oh, well, obviously I'm sour graping it because my art ability ranks somewhere between Harold's purple crayon and Harold's purple crayon shavings on the ground. Podcast hosting. You mean I shouldn't just be hosting it on ScottyDontX.com? Guess it's got to be somewhere people can like categorized and choose their categories when things are properly categorized. Oh, writing show notes? No, I don't want to write show notes. Can't we just have one of those magical AI things I learned out? Punch list be the times that I need to go back and edit the audio so I do not sound completely stupefied. Now I get it. My first punch-in edit. Magical AI things I learned out. That should have been magical AI things that I learned about. But show notes, helpful links, ancillary information, contact information, short summary of the episode. Well, here's the short summary. This is the pilot episode, and if this one ever gets out, I apologize. So then it's something about getting listed in podcast directories. I hope I can get into iHeart. I hear that is the place to be. And actually, that's where I source a lot of the stuff I'm listening to currently, like BJ and Sarah Mornings on KZOK and a bunch of my local Portland stations. And if I'd written the show, I would have a whole list of call outs and then launch and grow your show. Well, this is launched, so how do I grow it? If I get one listener, then that's going to be like quintillion my audience because right now I have zero. Because 0 to 1 is a quintillion, 1 to 2 is a doubling of the audience, from 2 to 3 is a 33% increase, and then it goes downhill from there. Ooh, soft open is more discreet. With this method, you publish episodes as if people are listening, but wait to promote your episodes. The strategy lets you get comfortable, iron out kinks, and overcome imposter syndrome. Nice. I like that one. Imposter syndrome. A lot of podcasters feel like a fraud when they first start. Maybe you dislike your voice or feel inadequate to speak on your topic. It's easy to sideline yourself, but you have a valuable perspective to offer. Oh, really? A website saying that I have a valuable perspective to offer? Obviously, you haven't met me, period. Well, I guess valuable perspective, if you look at it from a different perspective, a value can equal zero. There we are solving for X again. And then there's marketing tips to grow your listenership. How about you go to a radio morning show boot camp and you meet people and you see, hey, that's exactly what I want to do. And then you go home and you realize that they have more talent in the fingernail on their pinky than you have in your entire soul. Maybe that's not the case, but lessons to be learned there, then, and here now. All right, this closes out pilot number 1 episode of Scotty Don't X show, solving for X one day at a time.